One of the most important questions asked by human beings and probably asked by every human being is, who am I? Who am I? This question is the inner soul of a human being that repeatedly asks himself this question over and over again. It arrives at the very basic of realization of life and its existence. It then moves forward to, as we move in our stages into adolescence and then moves into adulthood and also goes into our old age and wondering as to who am I, and we still never in our life find the true answer as to who am I. Identity is an issue that human being is always looking for and is trying to relate himself with. But in my opinion, it's not so important as to who am I, but it's more important as to why am I. Why am I is more important than who am I. And the reason for why am I is the more deep because it answers the basic question of existence. Once we understand why we exist, we will know who we are. But the problem is that we never try to understand why we exist. We always try to understand who we are. Who we are is so important because it is a fundamental on which our ego is built. It is also the basis on which people recognize us. It is also the basis on which we learn to command respect. Until we don't understand clearly as to who we are, we very often make the common mistake in not commanding respect but demanding respect. Because we don't know who we are demanding respect. The day you realize who you are, you will command respect. But the day you realize why we are and the basis of your existence, you will neither need to demand or command respect. It will automatically come to you. Because in reality, you would have learned to respect yourself. Most people in this world don't respect themselves. That is why we lie, that is why we sin, that is why we do wrong things. It's not because of temptation, it's because of fundamentally we still don't recognize ourselves. We don't recognize ourselves not that we are black or we are white. We don't recognize ourselves not because we are a father or a grandfather. We don't recognize ourselves for one simple reason, that it doesn't matter to us why we exist. It matters to us only who am I. Why am I is greater than who am I. And why am I is more functionally important to every human being because it's not that your parents brought you in this world, but there's something more specific for what you come. When you look at your life, Ashokji or Babitaji or yourself when you're very young, you ask yourself, why am I doing what I am doing? And why am I doing something that I don't want to do? Why do I do things in my life that I know that are wrong? Why do I do things in life knowingly that will hurt me and hurt others? The fact is that we all do things which are beyond our control. We do few things that are in control. But we camouflage our actions by a belief that we are in control of everything. But we are not in control of anything. Everything controls us. Whether it's the sun, the moon, the rain, the showers, or even anything. But everything controls us. This morning when you got up and this night when you sleep, there was no way in hell or heaven that you and I know that we will be in this room sitting in front of each other talking like this. Who controls it? You, me, or something that's more important? When you understand that control doesn't lie in your hands, you have no reason to be upset. You have no reason not to find unhappiness. You have all the reason to understand that when control is beyond your hands, there is no reason for you to feel unhappy. Because happiness lies in letting go. Happiness lies in recognizing that you are just one molecule in the atomic world where you independently don't exist. Because around you there are millions of molecules that have an impact, and your existence exists because your molecule is in perfect balance with other molecules that exist around you. As long as you recognize that the atomic power of creation is so great, so imminent, and so powerful that you are nothing, not even a tiny second as compared to what you think you are. And that is the principal reason people ask, who am I? But why I am is more important than who I am. In my life, I started life as a very young boy. When I was born, I was in 14 days motherless. My mother died of multiple complications and she left me, and I was neglected by my father, who thought that I was the reason for the death of his wife. My grandmother brought me up, and during that course I survived from a skeleton to a human body. I never drank mother's milk and I never got mother's warmth, but I survived my life out of a very basic, very basic shoebox. I was brought up, I didn't even have a cradle, I was brought up in cotton in a shoebox, and I was left alone to survive. And today I sit in front of you and tell you why I exist. From that moment in my life, 53 years ago, on the 27th of November, my mother passed away. I was brought up by my grandmother, and my grandmother then took care of me, and my parents were not having any children. So they adopted me from my biological father, and I was well taken care of, well nourished, and given everything that I can imagine. She had a boy and she also had a daughter. Both of them are now settled in America, and both who I settled in America. I helped in the marriage of my sister. I helped in the job of my brother. My father remarried again, and from that marriage he had two daughters and another son. One boy, he works in Delhi, and one daughter, she works in Gorakhpur. She stays in Gorakhpur. The youngest daughter passed away due to cancer. I have had three mothers in my life and two fathers. I have had two wives. I have had three children, out of which two daughters. I gave up one son, God's desire. I lost four parents. I have one mother who I call mother. She asked me once, why do you take care of me? I'm not even biologically yours, and I don't even have ever remembered that I took care of you one day in your life. And my answer to her was very simple. And I said, you're the woman that my father loved, and that is why I take it for you.
Recognition to your father.
Sometimes, if you recognize what and how people do things for you, it doesn't need to be someone who is your blood relative. It doesn't need to be someone who is with the same name, with the same religion, the same caste. It just needs to be the right person. And if that right person happens to be anybody, that's very good for you. So, Mr. Right will come to you in your life, and Mr. Wrong will also come to you in your life. It doesn't matter that only your life is going to be good. It doesn't ever going to be that there will be sunshine every day and the earth will never shake in your lifetime. It will shake. You will lose balance. You will make mistakes. But that doesn't mean that you don't understand and you don't believe that the power is not you. The power is far greater than what you are and far greater than what you can ever be. Because it is that power that brought you here, it is that power that will take you somewhere. It's that power that will give you everything that you need in your life. Many a times people wonder, how will I survive? Many a times people stare into the future and ask themselves, what will I do? Many a times people react to the effect of a cause that they were unprepared for. You were never prepared for anything. Only He knows exactly. Even the doctor didn't know. Even your mother didn't know that whether you would pop it in the afternoon or in the morning, or you would be out at 6 or at 7. Nobody knows. Only the Creator knows. Your existence is because of Him, for no other reason. Therefore, when you leave it to Him, all your problems get solved. So in my life, without a mother and a father who pampered me so much like you get, Avish, who take care of me so much like you get, I still survive, I still get love because I look at the superpower that enables us to take care of the basic question, why we exist. We exist because He wants us to exist. We don't exist because He doesn't want us to exist. Our existence is because of Him. It's not because of us. It's not because of our money. And it's not because of anything other than that. So we are nothing. We are actually nothing. Whether we own the tallest building in the world, we are actually nothing. Because we are just one of the molecules or the millions of molecules that exist in this atomic world. So existence is very important to us. But what is more important is why we exist. And the day you realize the basic fact that prayer is your purification with your superpower to be able to judge your actions, to be able to release your fears, to be able to build your confidence. The fact still remains, no matter what you do, it will never rain when you want it to. It will rain only when He wants it to. So, no matter whatever may be the reason, don't think that you are in control of a situation, but everything else is in control of you. You don't control anything, and that's why I smile always. That's why I'm happy always. I've gone through so many gyrations. I've had a graph that has been very like a pendulum, swinging up and down. But I've learned one thing in my life, that no matter what I do, this damn graph is not going to change. It's going to go left, it's going to go right. It's going to go back again left, and it's going to come right again. So why worry about it? Because it's going to do what it's going to do, and you can't do a damn thing about this graph. So by realizing this, having walked 25% of the planet, having exceeded what my father did in his own life 7 times over, having proved to my parents, having proved to my family, having proved to my children, having proved to my students, having proved to my camera, having proved to my passion, having proved to my nationality, having proved to anyone and everyone that I am doing a good job, honestly, in whatever role I take. The fact still remains, nothing makes me unhappy. And the reason for that is because I understand that I am not in control of anything. Everything is in control of me. What may happen this moment, what may happen the next moment, what may happen later on. I understand why I exist, because He wants me to exist. I don't wonder who am I know who I am. I'm a small part of Him. That's who I am. And that's who you are. You're nobody but Him. But you have to understand and believe not that you're God, but God exists in you. Not that you become God, but without God you're nothing. But that doesn't mean you're God. That means a part of God is in you. And when a part of God is in you, there's no reason for you to worry about anything. May it be your maths, may it be anything. You saw me miss a flight in your country, I was cool. You saw me come back to your house and go back, I was cool. You see me in my house, you see me in your house, you see me on the road, you see me with a variety of students, you see me in any circumstances. You saw me in my underwear diving in with my camera. Right? You saw me with clothes, without clothes. You see me to the barest. You see me to the fullest. Nothing changes. Enjoy every moment that you have, because those moments are calculated during your existence on this planet. And if you're not going to enjoy it, you're to blame. Time's running out as much for me as for you. The only difference is you'll see many more suns rises, but I saw many more before you. So it all equals up. But at the end of the day, you should enjoy every day of your life, and that's why I write over there, life is beautiful, enjoy every day. Because truly, I lived 7 days with you all. Every day I enjoyed. I did what I wanted to. I went where I went. I did exactly how I want to do. And because I understand that the purpose and the only purpose why God makes us exist is to seek our happiness. He doesn't want us to be unhappy. He never wants us to be one who is in pain, one who's not enjoying himself, one who's crying. That's not the reason He brings us to this earth. He brings us to this earth to enjoy, to do good, and to be able to be positive, to give positive energy to others, to give something good for others, not to take something bad from them or to give them bad. No human being in the 7 billion gets up in the morning and says, today I am going to kill somebody. No one gets up in the morning and says, I am going to destroy the world. Everyone gets up and says, what a beautiful day. And the first thing, consciously or subconsciously, when you get up, no matter who you are, it's not your wife, it's not your child, you're looking up for the sun. It is the Creator who wakes you. It's not your child, it's not your wife, it's the Creator who makes you sleep. And it is He who wakes you. It is your belief in Him that tomorrow morning you will wake up. But it is up to Him to make sure that He does or He doesn't. There is no guarantee when any of us sleep tonight that we will wake up tomorrow. But there is a fairly good chance, because we have faith in Him, that we will see the sunrise tomorrow. But there is no guarantee 100% that we will see the sunrise tomorrow. So even when we sleep, consciously and subconsciously, we have Him in our mind. It is He who gives us our sleep. It is He who paralyzes our mind and our body. It is He who gives us our rest. It is He who gives us our food. It's not that man who sells the food. If God closes the button of nature, no businessman can exist. If God closes the power of nature, nothing can exist on this planet. We all will disappear in a matter of minutes. It is He who gives us what we want. So, nobody else but He takes care of us. When you understand in life how much God plays a role in your life, silently, without you realizing it, it's only in your old age that you understand, and you laugh at your youth, and you laugh at the madness, and you laugh at the stupidity. you understand things better. Because it's not your mistakes that you make, it's your grandchildren's mistakes that you see again. You see yourself twice in your life, once in your children and once in your grandchildren. So it's not again who am I, it's why am I. And that's very important for all of us. This is a short kind of a talk that I just wanted to mention on one of the principal problems of modern mankind is mistaken identity. They don't know. And a lot of them are searching this, who am I? Because they don't know who they are. Majority of the people. You walk up to 5 guys in your class and you ask them, Avish, who are you? They say, I'm so and so. No, but I want to know who you are. He says, are you crazy? Right? Because he only knows that he is so and so. He's never even thought of who he really is. And then you figure it out, everything is cool. So that's my experience. I don't know if you agree with it, but that's honestly what I felt about in any situation, in every situation. I mean, I've gone through ups, I've gone through downs, I'm going through downs, I'm going through ups all the time in my life, but I've always enjoyed